This world is rotten, and those who are making it rot deserve to die. Someone has to do it, so why not me? Even if it means sacrificing my own mind and soul, it's worth it. Because this world can't go on like this. I wonder, what if someone else had picked up the notebook? Is there anyone out there other than me who'd be willing to eliminate the vermin of the world? If I don't do it, then who will? That's just it, there's no one. But I can do it. In fact, I'm the only one who can. I'll do it. Using the notebook, I'll change the world.
You've taken quite a liking to it. Look at how many names you've written in just 5 days. Most are reluctant to write this much.
I understood that killing people was a crime. There was no other way. The world had to be fixed. A purpose given to me. Only I could do it. Who else would have done it? And come this far, would they have kept going? The only one who can create a new world is me.
It was good while it lasted. We eased each other's boredom for quite a while. Well, Light, it's been interesting.
Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Life was simple, and they were both happy. That was until the day Isaac's mom heard a voice from above. "Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved." "I will do my best to save him, my lord," Isaac's mother replied, rushing into Isaac's room, removing all that was evil from his life. Again, the voice called to her. "Isaac's soul is still corrupt. He needs to be cut off from all that's evil in this world and confess his sins." "I will follow your instructions, Lord. I have faith in thee," Isaac's mother replied, as she locked Isaac away in his room, away from all the evils of the world. One last time, Isaac's mom heard the voice of God calling to her. "You have done as I'd asked, but I still question your devotion to me. To prove your faith, I'll ask one more thing of you." "Yes, Lord, anything," Isaac's mother begged. "To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice. Your son Isaac will be this sacrifice. Go into his room and end his life as an offering to me to prove you love me above all else." "Yes, Lord," she replied, grabbing a butcher's knife from the kitchen. Isaac, watching through a crack in the door, trembled in fear. Scrambling around his room to find a hiding place, he noticed a trapdoor to the basement hidden under his rug. Without hesitation, he flung open the hatch just as his mother burst through the door and threw himself into the unknown depths below. War. War never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything, from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after a millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world, but war never changes. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle. Although he had everything his heart desired, the prince was an absolute douche canoe. But then, one winter's night, the ugliest woman you'd ever seen short of that two-penny crap you see in movies like Underworld or whatever, came to the castle and offered him a single rose in return for shelter from the bitter cold. After evacuating his bowels for 4 minutes, the prince sneered at the gift and told the CGI mishap to get fucked. But she warned him not to be such an apocalyptic fuckhat to strangers, for beauty is found within. In an effort to be slightly more polite but failing miserably, he told her to crawl into the nearest hole screaming "Norf, Norf, squeeg." But instead, the old woman's ugliness melted away, and she was hella fine. The prince bitched his face right off, but it was too late, for she had seen that he really was a fuck. And she transformed him into an Ozzy Osbourne mistake and placed a powerful spell on the castle and all who lived there. Ashamed by his now seemingly odd but not necessarily completely disarming appearance, the beast concealed himself inside the castle with a magic mirror as his only window to the outside world. Because cell phone reception didn't do a wad of shit in the mountains, and there wasn't a cell phone tower for bunches of years. The rose the aforementioned Tricky Mink had offered was truly enchanted as all get out, which would bloom until he was finally able to guzzle wine like tomorrow's a dream. If he could learn not to be a pile of indigestible fuck, and could find someone to at least clean up after his constant mess by the time the last petal fell, then the spell would be broken. If not, well, you know, stuff. As the years passed, he fell down the stairs. Into despair, and lost all hope. For who could ever learn to love such a cockwaffle?